What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we are going to do Movies I Forgot I Owned Part 2. As you remember from Part 1, I don't know when this is going to upload. I'm recording them at the same time, so... but anyway, if this isn't the day after, if you remember, I found a bunch of these in my closet full of DVDs, and we are going to go through and just look and reminisce about movies. I do love movies, and I know that people are like, you should talk about movies on your channel sometimes. So, we are going to continue with that trend. First up, Ernest Goes to Camp. Super random. As I mentioned in the video before, or the last one of this series, when GameStop had bought out EB Games and they were getting rid of DVDs, I cleaned house and got most of the Ernest movies. Next up, Frost Nixon. I did not watch this, but I want to. I really want to see it, and there's no freaking reason that I should not have watched it. I love Ron Howard as a director. I love Ron Howard, period. But I really need to watch this movie. It's supposed to be really, really good. I just haven't watched it yet, as you'll, that's probably a trend that you recognize. 21. I have not seen this movie. Still wrapped. I love Kevin Spacey as an actor, although, again, with all of his recent shenanigans and all that stuff, I know people are probably a little weird on that stuff, but I do want to see that movie regardless. 12 Monkeys. You want to hear something hilarious, and I get crapped on all the time for this? I've never seen 12 Monkeys, and it's supposed to be, it's time travel based, Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis. How can you go wrong with this? But I have never seen it. Terry Gilliam. Well, I know I would love that, actually, so I need to watch that. Next up, I don't know why I'm opening these. Halloween 5. I do like Halloween 5 a lot. I think Halloween had one of the better series of not getting goofy. Although I do love goofy horror and like the way that, like, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, all those and stuff like that. But I think Michael did the best job at staying serious. I love Halloween 5. Halloween 6 is probably my favorite that's not Halloween 1. So Halloween 5 is still pretty good. Actually, I do love Halloween 5 a lot, though. Freaking love Halloween 5. This isn't the one. Yeah. Anyway, Batman Returns. Why not? Super fun. I love Batman. Harvest of Fear. This movie is actually really, really good. It starts kind of slow, but it's like a slasher film. I actually did watch this, and it's really, really solid. I haven't watched it since I lived in my very second apartment, which was in 2009. So it's been almost a decade since I've watched this, but definitely pretty solid stuff. Let's pull out another thing here. Walk to Remember with Mandy Moore. That's a great thing for Tracy to come out of the bedroom on, is on a Walk to Remember. But definitely some pretty solid stuff. I do not hate this story, man. I think it's fun. I think it's a good movie. What?
It's really sad.
I mean, yes, it's sad, but I mean, like, it's still a fun movie. Like, it doesn't suck is actually the point that I was trying to make. It's a super good movie. Next up, the original Friday the 13th with hologram case. Ooh, look at that magic right there. Pretty solid stuff. I love Friday the 13th. I think Part 1 is fantastic. I know that the original writer of Friday the 13th Part 1 hates it because it's not what he had intended. And he had wrote it with the idea of Jason being dead. It was supposed to be a revenge story and his mother, you know, seeking revenge and stuff like that. However, Tom Savini said no, essentially. Cool. And that's why we have 2,000 Friday the 13th movies, and that's okay, because that is super good. Next up, Next up, Hot Shots. This movie, I love this series. I love Charlie Sheen, and I know that that's probably not something that you're supposed to say these days, but I love Charlie Sheen. I think that is fantastic. Next up on the agenda, what the heck is going on with this case? Big Fish, Tim Burton. I like Tim Burton for the most part, but whatever. That's all I'll say about that, I guess. I think he's good, but I don't really have much to say about Big Fish, honestly. Halloween 2. I do love Halloween 2, obviously. It's in my section here. I need to get better about talking on these things. But I like Halloween. I don't think I own all of them. I know I own 1, 2. I think I have 3, which I do like 3. I know people hate it, but whatever. Beef 2. This is actually a story, kind of a documentary series about different hip-hop just hatreds and stuff like that. It's actually pretty interesting to watch. I dig stuff like that. I didn't see the first one or anything of that nature, but still pretty solid. Jerry Seinfeld, Comedian. I have not watched this, but I bought it because I do love Jerry. I was looking at the next movie and I was going to say Johnny Depp. I do love Jerry Seinfeld. I love the show Seinfeld, and I just think that he's overall a pretty funny person, so I bought that. However, I'll never get to see him because since college campuses are cracking down on what you're allowed to say, he refuses to tour them, so I'll probably never see him, and that kind of sucks. Next up, this movie is super weird. Yeah, but I liked it a lot. Johnny Depp, The Libertine. It's a very, very weird movie, man. Yeah, a tour de force performance. The most overused phrase in movie history, a tour de force. But still, man, very, very good stuff. I love Johnny Depp, obviously. So, oh, man. One of my favorite comedies, man. And I know that this is kind of a love or hate thing. God, I need to watch this again. This movie, Harold and Kumar. This movie rules so hard. And this put White Castle on the map. This was so funny, man. And I love Neil Patrick Harris's character in that. And I always wish that they did a Neil Patrick Harris spinoff of the movie. Like, where he just playing himself. But, man, I'm going to watch that soon. I love Harold and Kumar. Next up, Beverly Hills Cop. I love Eddie Murphy, man. I love old school Eddie Murphy. I do like comedy actor Eddie Murphy, obviously, which I guess technically is still, but like this is, I guess, a little bit different. But this is good stuff too. I love that. Next up, I'm just going to show the side because the front's a little risky. This is a documentary about Betty Page. There is nudity on the cover and stuff, so we'll just skip that to the side because of old YouTube there. Next up, Ernest Saves Christmas. This is probably my favorite Ernest movie, even over like Scared Stupid or Saves Halloween. Yeah. I do like this movie a lot. I like a lot of Christmas ones, just like I like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, stuff like that. So, very, very good stuff. As I mentioned earlier, how I came about owning all those. Cider House Rules. This movie is very awesome as well. I bought this because I love Charlize Theron. Or Charlize Theron, however you want to pronounce it. I think she's a very, very good actress. And it's got old Tobey Maguire up in that as well. This was before Spider-Man. When the heck did this movie come out? 99. So right around the same time, actually. It's super good. I don't remember much about it because I watched this at my old apartment as well, which would have been 2009. So we're talking a decade. But I do remember loving that movie. Let's pull the rest of these out here. Alright, so next up we've got Bruce Lee collection. It's got 4 films in it, which is Fist of Fury, The Chinese Connection, Fist of Fear, Touch of Death, and The Real Bruce Lee, which I guess is like a documentary film. Fun fact, everybody thinks Bruce Lee was in like 200 different movies. He was not. He was in, I think, 4, 5, or 6, something really, really low before he died. I guess a lot of other stuff is like archival footage and stuff. I read that on the internet, actually. You might want to fact check that. But I think his filmography, like as far as movies he actually made, I think that's kind of how it is. Regardless, Bruce Lee, I love some Bruce Lee work. Next up, now these are not open, but I've seen Cooley High. I have not seen Cornbread. Cornbread Earl and Me, actually, I've not seen that at all. Soul Cinema. Cooley High, though, is super good. What was Cooley High supposed to be? Cooley High was... It was kind of like an African-American version of... I want to say like American Graffiti or like some kind of movie like that. But we watched Cooley High in film studies, and man, it is good. It is a super... I still need to watch the other one. But Cooley High... Actually, because when I went to the store to look, I was looking specifically for Cooley High, and I found it in this collection, and I was like, well, I've got to have it regardless. But Cooley High is fantastic. I can't say much about the other one because I haven't seen it. Cooley High, though, super good stuff. Oh my god, dude. Next up, I've seen this movie way too much. Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Crappy DVD box. But dude, this movie is good. Basically, Michael Douglas is like, alright, we gotta do something. I gotta get to my daughter's birthday party. The mom's being kind of a douche. He flips. Like, he just goes nuts. This movie is awesome. Yeah, I forgot about Robert Duvall's in this movie. Great stuff. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I don't care what you say about me. I love Kate Hudson. I love Matthew McConaughey. It's not open, but I've also seen this countless amount of times that it's probably embarrassing. Next up, Eastern Promises. Viggo Mortensen is awesome, okay? He is such a good actor, and I bought this based solely on that, and you're not disappointed. What else was... History of Violence was the other awesome one that he was in. Capote. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. Super sad he died. Capote, I have not seen. but I know that he embodies Sherman Capote perfectly, and this is supposed to be a real weird, quirky movie. Adrian, if you're watching, I still have your book, I think. Sorry about that. Yeah. This, we were getting down to the bottom barrel of what was left in the DVDs, and I was just like, screw it, 25 cents, throw it on there. Not gonna hate it. I haven't watched it. Don't know if I will. Second to last is one of my favorite series, Hatchet. I love this series to death. Holy crap. I'm so happy that someone has figured out a way to make a modern horror movie that's not trash. Hatchet is so good. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, if you're a horror, the thing is, if you're a horror fan, you probably have seen it. So, and you may not like it, but this movie is good. And last but not least, I forgot I own this. This is good. Actually, there was somebody on my friends list that posted about watching this the other day, and I was talking about how awesome it is. Frozen. This movie was so unique to me. Basically, these three people sneak up on a ski lift, and the park doesn't realize they're in there. They close down, and they are stranded on there. Like, it goes through trying to, like, climb across, I can't speak, across the wires and stuff like that, and it just gets kind of really crazy from there. But, man, this movie, I really love this movie. It's very, it, like, really pings your anxiety, man. You're just, like, constantly on the edge of your seat because it's not, like, in a thriller type of way, but just because I can't really explain it. Just knowing, like, it freaks me out thinking about, man, what if I was up there? So, but that is it, man. That is the movies I forgot I owned part 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know some of your movies. What movies do you have that you maybe have not seen in a long time? Have you ever looked at yourself and found some stuff that you didn't realize that you owned? If so, let me know down below. I'm anxious to see. Let me know what you think about these movies and stuff like that. Peeling the sticker off of that one. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow.